Hello guys. Let's see if Connor approves this. He's already on his A game. I'm just gonna wait just to see if it gets approved, and then maybe if some people get on. So what's up? Ooh, yay. Thanks, Connor. You rock. Appreciate you. Okay, so I don't have the Monday tidbit. I don't have the Thursday, whatever. Like I wasn't asked to come in here. So I'm here because there's something that that was a huge aha for me in my business, and it's just weird because over the last 2 weeks I've had quite a few Black statuses all message me about that exact same thing, and it's so weird. And every time I've shared my aha, hey y'all, thanks for joining. Every time I've shared my aha with them, it's an aha for them too. And so as much as I don't want to come in here and act like I know everything, because I'm going to start with that, I don't know everything. I struggle a lot in a lot of areas in our business, but sharing is caring, and I feel like if it helps, one person, then yay, right? So hopefully this doesn't come off as me bragging. What's up, y'all? So, Whitney, you're the one that gave me this aha. So, okay, so I feel like all of us in here, like, we made it to the top, right? We hit Black. We're here. It's very isolating. Like when you first hit Black and you hit the thing that you'd been, pushing your whole life for, it's like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do now, So kind of like our driving force, for me anyway, is money, right? We want to double our paycheck, right? It's like we want more money. We want to build our paycheck, and we all know that you don't hit Black and then stop working, your paycheck won't grow. So this might be so obvious. It probably actually is obvious to most of you guys, but this is kind of how I view it in my brain. So I wrote it down on my whiteboard, and I wanted to share some of my numbers with you, okay? So the first year of my business, so I hit, it's true, Whitney. Hey, Kanisha. When I hit Black, I hit with 7 frontline elites. And by the time I was a year in, I think I had about 11, maybe 12, okay? So yes, we obviously know my strength is building leaders. My weakness is selling product and sponsoring. So yes, we all have our weaknesses and our strengths. So I spent a whole year, doing what, I was supposed to do, whatever. And I wanted my paycheck, obviously my paycheck was growing, but I was getting really frustrated with my front line because they weren't building leaders. I was doing everything I could to teach them how to build leaders. And so, literally, I would lay awake in bed at night and be like, okay, what do I do exactly so that I can help my girls recreate that or duplicate that? What do I do exactly to get these people here and running and wanting to grow and wanting to promote? How do I do that? So I could teach other people how to do that. And then one day I went to Whitney. I usually don't go to Whitney. She's like, you don't go to Whitney, you know what I mean? But we'd built a relationship at that point where I felt like, we're buddies, right? So I went to her and I was like, how in the world do I build my generations? Because my front line is not building. They're not building elites, okay? And this was the biggest aha moment in my entire 3 years of doing this, you guys, and it completely changed my business. And I will show you in numbers how it changed. So she told me, she said, Carly, you're not supposed to, you can't teach them how to build leaders like you do. Like, you go and do it yourself. And I seriously was just like, wait, what? What do you mean? Like, she was like, you go build your second gens, like, yourself, you know? Like, you go do it yourself. What are you waiting for? And like, seriously, y'all, my freaking brain exploded. I was like, wait, what? Like, I can do that? Like, that's allowed? I thought this whole time, like, I thought that I was supposed to be teaching them how to be a leader, okay? Which you can't really teach someone how to be a leader. You can just set the example, right? And like show them, but you can't really teach someone how to build leaders or be a leader. It kind of has to come from within, and they have to want to do that their self, right? So, like once when my girls would hit green, I obviously stayed. I mean, I spend all my time on my front line. We, contact 24/7, but I'd never ever went into their circles for any reason, because I thought that I was supposed to like let them take over and do the leading thing. So here's the analogy. Here's the analogy behind it, that what I realized. Okay, we're all in this group. We're in this group because we hit the top of the company. Like, if you're the only Black status on your team, it's because you're different than your entire team. So like, if you're on here right now and you're the only Black status on your team, like, say it in the comments and then put how many people are on your team. Okay. No, I feel like everyone, no, like, keep listening, because this changed everything for me. Like, I can't even tell you. So my point, oh gosh, I'm going to try to get through this without just it'll probably be an hour. I mean, I got problems. So anyways, the reason you are where you are, okay, is because you're different than most people. Like, if you're here, you are extremely different. You are the minority beyond minority beyond minority. Like, you're so minority, it's ridiculous, okay? So the speed that you're building elites is a bazillion times faster than anyone on your team right now will build elites, okay? No one on your team. And as you grow, you will build Blacks. Like, Blacks will start to happen, because the more that you sponsor, then you're going to find other people that are like you, that are the minority. So we build people that are here listening to this in this group. We work faster, a bazillion times faster. We sponsor more, we party more, we sell more, and I don't care how much you love your front line, because I love my front line. Like, I cherish them more than anything, and they're freaking amazing, and I owe everything to them. But they don't. I'm just going to say this, and I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. And I hope you don't think I'm being braggy or rude, but they don't work near as hard as I do. They just don't. They don't have the, I mean, it's unique or nothing for me. Like, unique is everything to me. I wake up in the morning and, and if they were working as hard as I was, then they would be seeing the results that I have, okay? So, as much as I love all of them, they are not going to build like I want them to build, ever. No one's ever going to build elites as fast as I'm going to. It's just not going to happen. And that's one of my strengths. And whether you guys think it or not, that's one of your strengths too, because we're like only 0.02, I think. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like 0.02 people have built 4 legs to hit Black status. So whether you think it's your strength or not, the entire rest of the company, the 99.98% of those people have not built 4 legs, okay? So building elites for everyone in this group is something that you're good at. It just is. It doesn't matter how long it took you to get here, okay? So Whitney told me, what are you doing? Like, you're not going to teach them how to do it. And even if you did, it's going to be years before they, you know, figure it out or actually start, you know, caring more about the business or, you know, and by that time, you know, they probably left by now, whatever. So she's like, Carly, you have a talent. You know how to build greens. Why are you not building them in your second and third gen too? Y'all, my freaking head exploded, and I felt like the biggest idiot. I was like, oh my gosh, like, holy crap. Like, I can't believe I haven't been doing this the whole time. Okay, so just know that when you, okay, so you're obviously, you're sponsoring because your circle has to constantly build and grow, because you want the people pulled out of your circle and you want them in your gens. We all know that the money is comes from the generations. That's where it comes from, okay? So you obviously have to keep building that. But at the same time, you want to build all of your gens, not just your front line. And the cool thing is like for me, I have 23 now frontline elites, and I can build my new people, my personally enrolled, my frontline, at the exact same time that I build everybody else, because you just group them together, you know. So I put this on a whiteboard, okay, because I just wanted to do a visual, okay. And I know it's not all about money, but we all want to grow our paycheck. That's like what we want to do, and it's kind of hard when you don't, I don't know, when you don't really know. I don't know. I'll be the first to admit it can be very lonesome, like very lonesome and super confusing after you hit black, because you don't really know what to do. You're like, well, I was pushing for this goal, like my guts out, and then it happened, and then now what? Okay, so you just have to keep pushing. Hey, Lauren. Okay, so this whiteboard, is it backwards for you guys? It actually doesn't matter if it's backwards, okay? But I just wanted to show you. Okay, so here's me. Can y'all see this? So here's me. And here's a box. Here's a box, okay? First, second, and third gen. This box is your generations, okay? And then it says right here, when this box is completely full, you are rich. It's simple as that. So even if you have to like write this, put this on your whiteboard, just to kind of remind you, so that whenever you're doing your, like when you're working, just to like keep you accountable of like, are you working here? Like, are you working right here? Because when this box is full, you're filthy rich, okay? So you have your first gens that you're just gonna build. And if you've only built 4 first gens and you feel like, oh, I suck at building first gens, like I only have 4, well, first of all, stop saying that, because you don't suck at it. And second of all, if honestly, obviously you know what you need to do. You need to go sponsor and, you know, build pinks like crazy. But if you're kind of in that funk where you're like, there's not anybody in my circle that is even close, I can't even see them being green. Well, then you go to your first gen circles and you build 1 billion second gens. Because every month you have to be, because you're good at it, because it's your strength, you have to be building leaders. And whenever you're doing it like consistently, it helps your confidence so much, and it helps everything all around. You're helping these girls make money. I mean, you're helping them get to elite, which is what, 2% of our company, which is a ginormous deal in itself. So just basically anywhere in your organization that someone is running and they want to work, that's who you work with. So we have our first gen. So literally, you just want to get this as fat as possible, okay? And be patient with yourself, building first, okay? Just be patient with yourself and stop saying negative crap. Be patient with yourself, because it will come. It will start to happen if only if you are working with the workers. If you're spending time on the people that don't want to do anything, then your energy's sucked. You will have absolutely no energy left to do anything that is going to grow your paycheck. So anyways, this visual helps me a lot. Like when this is full, you're rich, okay? So say like, the more of these, oh crap, this is falling, but the more of these that you can get, the more money you make. So it's not just your front line, okay? So what I did after Whitney told, oh, let me just show you. After Whitney told me this, can't even remember when it was, but maybe like, I don't know, maybe a couple months before now. So October of 2015, my generations total was 551,237. That's what my generations ended at that month. That was the closest I had ever been to Black Status 1, was 55%. And because I had shifted my focus and started taking the leader building into my own hands, the very next month, November 2015, my generation total was 1,002,402. So I doubled my gens from month to month. And my paycheck, I don't even talk about my paycheck, but I think my paycheck in October was, this proves that like, this is where the money comes. This is the money right here, your generations. I think October I made about 26,000 was the most I'd ever made. And then in November, my paycheck was 48,000. And obviously November's like a month on crack, you know, it's huge. Can you guys still hear me? Sorry. It's huge. November's huge, right? But still, even then I literally doubled my paycheck and I doubled my gens because I stopped spending all this energy trying to teach my front line how to build leaders. They're not going to build them the way I want them to. And when you go in and start building everywhere in your organization, like it helps their business. It helps them make more money. It helps their confidence. Like it helps them. And eventually a lot of them grasp on and they're like, oh my gosh, like, and they just start learning because they see what you're doing. But what I started doing was, my company was pretty large at that point. I don't know how big, like, you know, all of us have big companies now, right? So what I started doing was I would do green groups because I was just too big to like, you know, manage a chat at that point. But what I would do is I'd get a piece of paper before the month started and I'd go into my circle. People won't stop calling me. All of my first gen circles, my circle, and even my second gen's circles. And I just wrote down anyone that was blue and that could legit hit green the next month. I messaged them all personally. Hey, doing a green group. You could totally hit green this month. Are you in? Are you out? Whatever. Then I'd add them to the group and I'd just post in it like crazy. And I only do green groups maybe like 6 months out of the year. I only do them on like the high momentum months. You know, I'm not going to do one in June or July, but I do one in September, November, February, April. So, but if you're small enough where you just put them in a dang chat, the key to building leaders, y'all, is just a community. That's it. Y'all, I don't know how to tell people tasks from Adam. Ask Lauren, ask all my blacks. Like, I mean, it's pretty pitiful. Like, when people come to me with like, okay, what should I do? Like, what should I be doing? I'll be like, oh, I don't know. But when you group these girls together and they get a chance to like be with you and learn from you and just be your friend, a fire like literally ignites. And that goes along with when I said, you know, these girls, these leaders of ours, they're not at a place yet where they are inspiring their team like we are. So for some reason, this is the thing, is it's really hard for me to teach how to build leaders because it's almost like I still feel like, can you teach that? Like, I don't know if you can teach that because such a huge part of building leaders and having people be loyal to you and stay and follow what you're doing is inspiring them. Is inspiring them, right? And I don't know how to teach someone else how to be inspiring. Like, that's kind of just, I don't know, maybe there is a way. But another reason why these girls are not able to build themselves is because they don't inspire their team. And I'm not saying that they won't, but They aren't yet. But you're able to do that. Like, you have something. Like, if you're listening to this, you have something very special. You're just so, you're like a piece of treasure. Like, honestly, you have a talent, and you have a talent. Like, how cool is this? It's like, we have a talent of inspiring other women to change their lives. Like, you have that. So you have to go in and spread it within your whole company, not just your circle or your personally enrolled, right? So anyways, this changed my paycheck and my business, and it truly did. Like, if I wouldn't have had that switch in my head, I don't really know where I would be right now. I'd still be building first, but my gens wouldn't be very fat. But yeah, so every month, go and look at everybody in your company as if they're your own, like that you're personally sponsored them. You grab them and then you group them, and go build a ton of second and third gens, because that's the key. Like, that's going to build your paycheck. And another thing is, the more elites you have on your team, the more elites that are going to continue to happen. Anytime a new elite happens in my downline, doesn't matter where they're at, they can be my 10th gen, it inspires everybody else. It inspires my first gens to, oh, I guess, everybody's going green, guess I better do it, Like, you got to have those accomplishments and the fire and whatever, and the other girls seeing that it's possible and all that stuff. So hopefully this was helpful. Thanks for listening to me. This was just something that really changed everything for me, so I wanted to share. Don't wait around for others to do what you could do a billion times faster, because it's just going to benefit you, not just financially, but in everything. You're going to change a billion more lives, and your confidence is going to grow. And these girls, there's so many girls, y'all. Like, some of my my first gens, for example, are amazing. Again, like, seriously amazing. It's okay, Brennan. They just don't get it, like we do. They just don't get it. And they've got all these girls that are rocket ships underneath them that have not taken off, because they just don't have really anything to inspire them every day. Even though, like, they're seeing your post and stuff in your group, and they know you're their black upline or whatever, they need other people like themselves desperately. If you have runners on your team, get them in chats with other hardcore runners, because they need that. Like, they've got to have that. And so these like girls that are just literally gonna rocket ship any second, are just, that's all they need. They need a message from you, and they need the validation from you, and they need to know obviously they can do it, and they need to be put with other people that are in their same position. And then things will just start moving more and more. So anyways, thanks for listening to me. I know I'm super annoying and always talk way too long, but hopefully this is helpful. It really helped me a lot. So I love you guys. I hope you'll have a great, gosh, people won't stop calling, but have a good Friday and a great week. Okay, bye.